Great to be here. Always good to talk about the game of football and where it's headed, and certainly we talk about the SEC and the conference with you guys. Incredible leadership, and these guys do a great job, and I think it's for the benefit of our game, so I enjoy doing it. Now I'll open it up.
Kirby, obviously the question of roster management and how you handle the portal, that's something the coach is probably going to talk about. I mean, at this point, what are your options in terms of roster management?
I think that when you look at the history of the last 15 years in college football, it's been a very subtle change. Kids have always been able to go places and change, make decisions. Roster management hasn't changed from the standpoint of we've been working off 85, been working off medicals. There's been slight changes to the number of guys you can sign annually. There's been a slight increase in the number of players that come out early over time. I mean, you look at history, it's gone up, but each individual school's impact has varied from maybe one coming out to maybe schools having 5 or 6 come out. But it's been very subtle changes, so I think as it continues to grow, it's something we deal with. I don't think there's a major concern there. We got 85 scholarships. You operate off your 85. Some of the NFL teams do it with less than that. So I'm not as concerned about roster management as I am making sure that what's best for the student athlete is what we do.
So this is the first time the ability to leave and go where they want is in the students' hands, not coaches. So is it more difficult to plan ahead maybe and anticipate things from that perspective?
I don't know if it's 100% accurate what you said, because they could always leave. They just might not be able to get their release, but they still have to sit a year. What's really changed is the graduate transfer opportunity to go anywhere you want to go. And that's been probably the more major change. But not all guys that go in the portal where they get to go play right away. Certainly it's been portrayed that way, but not all of them do. And some of them do it for different reasons. I mean, every kid's got their different reasons for doing it. So with each kid, it's done on an individual basis, and that's something the NCAA has to decide.
Kirby, do you use the Oklahoma drill because the NFL's going to ban it?
Yeah, I think you first thing you say Oklahoma drill, what is that? Because everybody has a different perception of what that is. So I know that everybody uses it different ways. We try to be, we got a great medical staff. Ron Corson and his staff do a tremendous job. So Oklahoma per se, 2 men like battling rams 10 yards apart, I would never do that. I don't think that's football. So I think if you ask 100 coaches what Oklahoma drill, you get 100 different answers because everybody calls it something different. We're really smart about the way we practice from an injury standpoint. We have one of the least injured teams in the last 3 years. It's because of the way we practice. Well, I was in the NFL, and we practice really smart there too. You can imagine when you've got a 53-man roster and you've got a guy making 5, 6, 7 million, you're going to be smart about how you practice. I think as coaches, we're always looking at that. So I don't know what you define as Oklahoma drill. So I don't know how to say whether we do it or not. We are as safe as we can. We tackle 3 to 4 times in the spring, probably 2 times, 3 times in the fall live. And I know a lot of coaches that tackle the entire preseason camp live, where we don't do that, and try to be smart about what we do.
You mentioned Ron Corson a second ago. Can you update us on Dwan Mathis? Obviously, Ron's been really instrumental in that, and you've been really involved in that.
Yeah, Dwan's been awesome. His family's been awesome. He's handled everything with great class. Dwan's doing great. He got out of the hospital yesterday. He's done rehab today and therapy, and Ron and his staff did an unbelievable job recognizing things. The Piedmont Health Center there in Athens did a tremendous job as well. So we're expecting a full recovery, and timeline is the least of our concern right now. Not even worried about timeline. We're worried about his health, and both his parents have been involved, and his mom's been down, stepmom's been down. They've been really incredible.
How do you balance, you talk about how much contact you have, teaching them to be sound tacklers, teaching them to be sound blockers, while keeping the contact where they're comfortable?
So you have all kinds of drills that you simulate that. You have moving dummies. You have ability to tackle the donuts, robot dummies that move. You change the direction. I mean, tackling his feet, hips, eyes, it's not all contact. So every agility drill you do all offseason, in essence, there's a form of tackling. Now, it may not be contact related, and some coaches would argue that you need a lot of contact to get where you need to go. Some coaches would argue you need a better athlete to be able to tackle a better athlete, so you go out and recruit better. But to each his own, and we do a lot of studies injury-wise. The SEC does studies, the NFL does studies, the NCAA does studies to find out where they are. So, I think that they do a tremendous job of protecting our game and making sure that it's safe.
Have you evolved through your career on that? And was the NFL experience a bit more of a teaching moment?
It was, but I'll be honest with you, those guys are professionals. So when you've got Zach Thomas, there's a linebacker that's played 10 years. How many times do you need to go hit a guy as opposed to a kid that I'm coaching my first year out at Valdosta State that's only had 4 years of high school? Two different guys. So you're teaching those two guys differently and you're training them differently. I think just like football's evolved, offensively, defensively, special teams, everything changes. So has our belief in tackling. And I think that'll continue to be that way. Everybody's looking for a better way. I think you're constantly looking for a better way.
Kirby, with the way you guys are scheduling out, do you think you'll have an advantage with 3 Power 5 conference teams on your scheduled non-conference? Or do you think that those that are aspiring to the playoff will schedule with a similar event?
When you say an advantage how?
Playoff committee.
I don't know. It'll depend on the effect of everybody else and how they schedule moving forward, and it'll really depend on how we play. I certainly think that if 2 teams are in equal record, that the tougher conference schedule and the tougher out-of-conference schedule is going to be weighted. They look at that now. You look at the history of the decisions they make, it has a lot to do with it. When you play them matters, because momentum's built into that. They do studies and look across the time they've had it, and it'll continue to be that way. Somebody that plays a big game in December may be more valuable than somebody that plays a big game in September.
How much input do you have whenever y'all go through schedule and say we want X amount of Power 5 schools on the non-conference schedule?
A lot.
Why was that so important for you to go out and make sure that happened, moving forward? Because a lot of coaches in the SEC don't want, don't play more than one Power 5 non-conference program.
I just think that that's the way football's headed. I'll be honest with you. I think that the day of playing more competitive games, there's more parity in our conference. I think going out and playing tougher opponents is a good thing. I don't run from that competition, and I think that it's the best thing for the game. And if you look at whether it's dwindling attendance, you look at opportunity to go recruit, to play on a big stage, I think the conference schedule that we play is plenty tough enough. Let me be sure and say that.
Right.
Extremely tough, as a matter of fact. But I want Georgia on the national stage playing against great competition. I think if you recruit well and you have 85 scholarship players, that you should have enough depth. We've got the rule now, you play 4 games, and still red shirt. So you've got access to a larger pool of players. And, I think that's important when you go play these kind of schedules.
Kirby, is part of this the fact, the belief that at some point down the road?
It's not for me. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
And people have misstated that I believe that it's going to go to this. I have no clue it's going to. You know what I mean? I am a company man along with the SEC that what we have works. So I'm not forecasting this. What I am forecasting is that we're going to have a strength of schedule that's going to allow us, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 teams, to be one of the teams in the conversation because of who we play. The regret of the naysayers will say an extra loss is going to cost you. My argument is the men in that room and the women in that room that are on that committee that make that decision are going to have to balance somebody that goes out and plays 3 non-conference Power 5 teams that we felt strongly it was important to do it.
Is your feeling that if you recruit well enough, that you're going to be in that mix, no matter what's on your schedule?
Well, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
You mentioned the dwindling attendance a minute ago. Is that a concern for you as a coach, or is that kind of above your pay grade?
Well, no, it's a concern, but it's not a concern of Jordan. I'm concerned about Georgia, but when you look at trends and things like that, you say, well, what are we looking at 10 years from now? I don't want to be sitting there trying to schedule. You can't do these schedules a year out, 2 years out. You're having to do them a long way out. So let's say attendance is struggling. We're going to have that because people want to see Georgia play, FSU, Oklahoma, Texas, UCLA, whoever it may be.
With these home and homes, this takes away a potential annual bye game, home game. How could this affect the game in Jacksonville? You're already down one major recruiting weekend to Alabama, LSU, Auburn. Does this have an effect on the potential of the Jacksonville series going home and home? The Florida
I
series?
think that's always up for discussion. We have a contract with Jacksonville, it's a couple years out. I think you're always looking to see what you can do to help your program get better. So nothing's off the table, but nothing's been decided either.
Kirby, the DVLA is obviously looking into player likeness and name and potentially compensating them. Where do you stand there? You know, is that a concern of where, slippery slope, where that could lead, or where do you stand?
You know, I'll leave that to the committee. They got an NCAA committee, which our president's gonna be a part of. They're gonna put some information together, and I think that's good that they're looking into it, because they obviously acknowledge it, and that's important to have. I mean, when you have these discussions and you have these committees, a lot of times you get a lot of information and you find out snafus and issues that you might not have thought of. So I would reserve the judgment to get that committee back and all their findings.
Did you take any exception to what Jimbo said on signing day after they signed Calzada?
The exception to what?
He made some comments that kind of critical of the way that y'all came in, or I guess the recruiting, he kind of went out of his way to say it. Did you take any exception to that at all, or did that ever cross your radar at all?
No, Jimbo would have done the same thing. I mean, Jimbo is competitive as they are, so he's gonna recruit for Texas A&M, and I'm gonna recruit for Georgia. We cross paths. I got no exception to what Jimbo said.
Kirby, one more about that Oklahoma drill thing. Is there something football culturally bonding about it, no matter, what way you use it? It's been a staple in football for 60 years.
I go back again, define what is Oklahoma. Like, if you could define for me what that is, I don't see it culturally bonding to put two young men 10 yards apart and down on line. I don't think that's, and I don't know if that's what you're calling Oklahoma, because like I said, everybody interprets it differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the question I used to get about, are you gonna be spread offense? What is that? I don't know how you guys see that. I have no idea. So I don't know when you say Oklahoma, how that is. I mean, bonding to me is going out in 100-degree heat with 30 pounds of pads, helmet, and stuff on, and competing, and going one-on-one with another man. You get all kinds of bonding in that. I don't think you have to have whatever that Oklahoma, the negative term of Oklahoma. Do you have to play football to get good at it? Yes. But every play that you go scrimmage, there's Oklahoma in that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just hard to answer that question, because I don't know how you're referring to Oklahoma as.
You had 3 freshmen enroll early that didn't get a chance to participate in spring with injuries. Can you are those guys going to be cleared at some point before preseason camp? And what is the benefit of, how much do they benefit not getting to be out on the field during spring practice, but just getting that semester ahead?
Yeah, they're all on time, they're all on schedule, doing a good job. As far as when they'll be cleared, I don't know exactly that. That'll come down to the doctors. But they were able to get walkthroughs, which the NCAA has given us the ability to walk through, and that's been tremendous from the standpoint of learning and understanding things. But until the bullets are flying live out there and they're really going fast, they'll still be behind. But I think academically it's great, because what you're seeing is a lot of kids after 3.5 years, that's their senior year. The half is the fall of their senior year. They're not getting the second semester of that. They're not getting 4 full years. So the only way to get 4 full years and play 4 years is to come in early. So it gets them closer to graduation, which is a lot more important to me than what they pick up on the football field.
With the uncertainty of Dwan, and you mentioned that the timeline's not a factor, I get that. That puts you down to, I believe, 2 scholarship quarterbacks. Do you got to look harder at the portal? Will Georgia try and sign someone out of the portal as a result of that?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we haven't been going home, and we're expecting a full recovery for Dwan, and looking at his health, not worried about the timeline. I mean, obviously quarterback depth is an issue for everybody in the country, because there's not many force sitting around. They're in the portal. So, I mean, you're always looking, and everybody's always looking.
And then as far as what the NCAA allows with some of the off-season workouts, I know you have the team meeting tomorrow. What is the schedule for Georgia moving forward as far as workouts and
we're gonna have summer school. We're gonna work out. We're gonna do everything that we normally do from a standpoint of school, kind of integrating the freshmen into the team. Are we gonna draft them? Are we're gonna have our.
Well, I don't know what the NCAA allows as far as the workouts and team practices. I guess
Yeah, we don't have team practices. We have volunteer activities they can go out and do. We have 8 hours of time they can do with the wait staff and work out. We can do different things with them. And our coaches can be out in the field doing conditioning and that with them, but we just can't have football out there. So we'll do everything that we're allowed to do, what we've done traditionally every summer.